Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Talking Space Pixels. I am Anthony, also known in Eve as Oramus Rockar, and I will be recording alone today. Clyde's not here, he's on vacation, and this will actually be my third time attempting this, having all kinds of technical difficulties for some reason. The first time I tried to record it, me and Clyde tried to record it, but his video and audio were unusable and mine broke apart in a couple of places. And the second time, I actually used this video. I'm doing a voiceover this time. I actually used this video in the audio. I did a pretty bad job of recording it. I was too close to the microphone, and you could hear every part of my mouth move, which was pretty gross. So anyway, trying this again. Let you know what I've been doing in gaming-wise for the past couple of weeks. Been playing a lot of Elite Dangerous, mostly trying to get better at that because it just released on the Xbox One, which is pretty exciting because I've been wanting to play this game for a while. But in Eve, I did a couple of fleets with Brave, died a couple of times first, but then I went on a strat ops for one tac or ITAC or something like that, and I got a couple of kills there, a couple of good kills. It was pretty fun. It's been pretty down in Brave, though. Not a lot of activity going on. For dev-related news, there's been a lot of visual changes to Eve here lately, and a lot of visual changes that are coming up. For example, they've changed a lot of the icons that everything used to be pretty much plus signs or squares. Now they're different shaped triangles, which I can get it. The smaller triangles are frigates, and as they get bigger and have more lines, they become bigger ships. But I don't much care for it in a PvE aspect because a lot of the symbols changed. I'm trying to find my mobile tractor unit, which used to be a small triangle, and now it's this weird box thing. Anyway, what's the most disappointing part about it is that there's no more plus signs to shoot. I mean, they used to be just varying size of plus signs, and now there's no plus signs. There are all these weird triangle things going on, which is not as exciting. Well, I mean, a lot of people probably think it's more exciting, but I mean, I've been looking at those plus signs for a long time. Some new stuff that will be, they've also introduced some new ship skins, but those have been coming with every release. Some pretty cool ones out there. I wish I had the better computer so I can enjoy them, but now they just kind of look like somebody spilled paint on my ship. But they have a couple of new ship models coming out for ships that are already in the game, like the Dominix and the Thrasher. The Dominix skin looks beautiful. We didn't mention in our first episode, we kind of forgot about it, but we actually record these on our HiSec alt because it just makes things easier. There's more you got to keep track of in nullsec, which we're actually going to try. And I don't know, it's not technically a live recording, but we're going to try and record and play at the same time just so there's some interaction. In case something crazy happens while we're playing, we'll get it on video. So we've been playing this on our alt, and the Dominix was my mission running ship for my main whenever I was doing level 4s in HiSec, which I really enjoyed it. I like the sniper classes, I like being able to snipe doing long distance damage, so the sentries really worked for me, and I flew it a lot. I don't get to fly it as much anymore because Brave did have a Dominix doctrine, and then it got taken away this pretty much the same day, but the Dominix was my favorite mission running ship, and now since I'm running on this alt, I tried to keep to his race, the Amara race, just because I've never flown Amara ships before. But now since the Dominix is going to look so freaking cool, I might have to switch that up and go back to my Dominix just so I can see it every once in a while, because I only like to fly ships that I think are like visually appealing, such as I don't really like a lot of the Caldari ships because they all look weird. The Galente ships, they're nice and symmetrical for the most part, but the everybody else has, they're not symmetrical. The Caldaris all look like weird birds, and Minotaurs are rusty pieces of crap. The Amars are pretty cool. There's a lot of them I like the Apocalypse and stuff like that. But I mean, so it'd be cool to train up those so I can run fours with them. But one, I'm running a Galente space anyway, so Galente ships are better than Amar ships. Like I said, I was just sticking to Amar because I hadn't done it before. I never messed with lasers or anything like that. But I need that Dominix. And unless I can get some Dominix action out in nullsec, I might have to train it up here. Anyway, the other ship that they're remodeling is the Thrasher, which it still looks ugly. I thought it was an ugly ship before too, so I don't know what to say about that one. It's still pretty ugly. Like I said, never really been a big fan of the rusty brown stuff with the solar panels duct taped on the screen doors. So, I mean, also a lot of stuff has been happening with FozzieSov on the Duality server. It's being tested out on the Duality server. Big competition to try and get the Alliance's names put into the Intosis Link modules. Brave was apparently trying really hard to get their name in, and I'll talk a little bit more about Brave later, but a lot of drama has been going on with Brave because of the Duality server. We've pretty much had no chance of winning it. Anyway, but FozzieSov, I think, has been getting some pretty good reviews. As far as it goes, it's going to be kind of punishing the big alliances now. I mean, I kind of think, because it's going to be more small skirmish based and take away a lot of the capital ship strengths, which, I mean, I agree the capitals were a little bit too much for anybody to go out and all, but also, they worked really hard to get all their space, so I don't know, it's kind of mixed feelings. I don't really agree that the capital ships should be nerfed all too much, or if they're going to be nerfed, it's a way it benefits them, which is hard to explain. Because, I mean, they're capital ships. They're supposed to be big, bad, and tough, but then again, they're also not supposed to be invincible unless you have an equal capital ship fleet. There should be ways to counter them, which gets really hard. If someone comes with the Wrecking Ball fleet, really hard to stop unless you've got another capital fleet to counter. Valkyrie's also been showing up. It showed up in E3. They didn't have a new video for it, but it showed up at E3. And it's looking pretty cool. I mean, I guess they're using a lot of the VR technology and everything like that, but as far as a, first-person space combat simulator, it's to me, it's not really up to par with the Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous, which, I don't know, I guess it would be more not up to par with Elite Dangerous, because Star Citizen doesn't really have a game at the moment. They just have the dogfights, so. But I don't really know what all Valkyrie's going to bring. It seems like it's just going to be a combat arena type game, nothing else. And it's not even going to be linked with the EVE world. So, I mean, if CCP is going to make a game, it should be somehow, linked with EVE. Everybody else, like Dust was linked in that you could, help him out and do aerial bombardments and stuff like that. I mean, it was still linked to the EVE world. We were all in the same universe with Valkyrie. It's going to be completely separate from what I understand. So, on with actual EVE news. Burn of Mar is officially over. It lasted for about 3 days. Did a lot of damage for the Ministry of Love, the Goon guys, and Code, which the asshole. Code wasn't actually in a Mar. They were at the major chokehold, the getting all of those gangs. But the cool thing about the Burn of Mar is that it was all pretty much role-played based. The goons were attacking Amar to throw down the Empress, and support their candidates. I can't remember his name, but it was all role-play game. It was all with the actual quote-unquote storyline of Eve, which I think is actually pretty cool. They're fighting the other RPGers, the other role players, but they were actually bringing the RPG out of the MMO RPG that is Eve, which hardly happens anymore, because of all the in-game politics. But so that's over. A lot of kills were made, not as much as burn cheat or anything like that. And what was also different is that the goons weren't only targeting freighters. It was anything and everything that went into the system. So if you went there, you died. Well, or that was the idea anyway. So that's been going on. The Alliance tournament's coming up soon. August 15th is when it starts. I guess that's not right around the corner or nothing. It's a month away. But, well, over a month away. But it's coming here soon, which I'm pretty excited about. I enjoyed the last Alliance tournament, and there's some pretty big names in this one. A lot of the usuals, but also the most notable of them being the Camel Empires in it. They got us the cool fancy space yachts that I still haven't flown. I really need to make mine. I just haven't got to it. I actually lost one of my blueprints because it got stuck in one of Brave's systems, and I couldn't retrieve it without getting blown up. I think it got stuck in head. Yeah, it got stuck in head GP. And I knew I wasn't going to make it out of there alive to go and bring it back, so I had to sell it off. I didn't get actually to build that one, but on my alt, I still had a blueprint, so there's still hope for me someday flying it and not paying way overpriced on the market. But the Campbell Empire's in there, the guys who won us the cool space boats, like I said. Of course, PL and the big ones like Waffles and Test. But what's really cool is that Brave is in it, for one, and Pandemic Horde. So two of the newbie groups are going to go at it, which, if Brave makes it past the first round, it'll be totally worth it. And also, if one of the guys in Brave goes and tries to salvage a wreck while they're in the competition, that will truly speak to the heart of Brave, what Brave was. But speaking of Brave, like I said, I'll get into it. The Brave drama that's been going on. Our glorious leader, Licton, was a drunken mess in his last soda, of course. I have to give a little bit of background on this. I remember in my last video, I said, Brave newbie for life, which I kind of still stick with that because of the fact I love the idea that is Brave. The go out and shoot somebody mentality, the fun per hour instead of the metagame and stuff. However, back whenever I was about a month or two ago, whenever Licton got reinstated after the first coup to throw him out after he got reinstated, I kind of had to take a hiatus due to work and training. Also went on vacation, so I had this huge chunk of time where I just couldn't play Eve. But whenever I left, things were starting to look up. Licton said that he was going to step down for a little while, talk to everybody, take 2 weeks to get everything in order. And that time, Jun took over and actually did a lot of good work. He was the reason we moved to Fountain and everything. He's the one that negotiated that deal, and everything was actually going kind of smoothly. But when I got back is whenever this whole other duality crap happened, and the fact that Licton was more concerned with fake space, fake test space over tranquility space, and he gave up some timers in tranquility to go fight in duality. That's crossing the line. Politics, all the drama that's been going on is ridiculous. The leadership has been AFK or it sucks, And a lot of them have actually jumped ship. So there's that too. People are leaving Brave by the hordes. Um, so I don't know. My faith has been strong, really shaken with Brave. And I have to admit, I was thinking about it before, and now I'm kind of even thinking about it now that maybe Brave isn't the best place for me. I think I've actually grown up for Brave, which is sad because Brave seemed like it had a lot of potential to go far, which it did. It really did go far. But there's other alliance out there that are doing this better. The newbies are important. Need to bring them into the game to keep you alive. And also keep it fun, though. And Brave isn't keeping it fun anymore. It's all soft politics or Licton being AFK. So, but now what I've actually been kind of really wanting to talk about, I have to admit, is Elite Dangerous being on the Xbox One. I'm playing it, and I'm loving it because of the fact I haven't been able to play it. Elite is way too hardcore for my little gaming PC. So I've been trying to test it out and clear the waters. I'm naturally actually pretty good at these games, flight simulator or space simulator games, from the first person view. I always have been for some reason. If you give me, well, if I'm on a PC, if you give me a joystick, I can fly it. And apparently on the Xbox, I'm the same way. Even though it's not a joystick, it's the controllers. But sorry, I've got like this sore throat going on, guys. Anyway, it's come out and there's been a lot of bugs in it, of course, but it's a beta version, or it is the first of its kind to be put out there as early release on the Xbox, which is really cool because I actually buy into a lot of these early releases. I bought Kerbal and stuck with it all the way until release. I bought it a while ago, and it's turned out to grow and really be a good game. So this is pretty exciting. They've started doing that on the Xbox now. But it's been pretty fun. There's bugs, like I said. A lot of the missions and all of a sudden go hashtag minor faction, and then it won't finish the mission. It won't tell you how much you're going to get about it. You have to leave and go to a different station if you want a mission. Also, that Close Quarters, whenever it comes out, is going to be a timed exclusive for the Xbox, so it'll be Xbox only for a little while, and then it'll release to PC. But it'll have it'll just be kind of like, I don't know, FPS spaceships, but also it'll have objective-based gaming, capture the flag, and stuff like that. It looked like they flew through a gate that gave you a shield boost, and so it looked pretty cool. I'm excited to try out my flying skills on there. I know I'll die a lot because I'm okay. I'm not great. I'm okay at flying. The multiplayer could definitely use some work because the PC people were already saying the Elite Dangerous was kind of a solo play game. And that definitely proves true in the Xbox whenever you can't find the people you want to play with and make them your wing, put them in your wing. Because me and Clyde were trying to play it and get into the same system so we could see each other, to invite each other to the wing, and we'd be there, but it would never put us in the same instance, so we could both undock at the same time and we wouldn't see each other. And also you can't invite from the Xbox menu, like through the Xbox Live services yet. So it really needs some work. I'm hoping some more multiplayer aspects get into the game because it could be a lot of fun. Really all you could do is maybe do some combat sites. I mean, hauling obviously is not going to be a multiplayer part of the game. So my personal experiences thus far have been pretty good. There was one part which is pretty funny that, hindsight, I could have probably went about this differently, but I had to reset my game. Well, I did reset my game because I saved up all of my money to buy a Cobra MK11 or MK3, and I had it. I did a couple of missions with it. I bought what I thought was an upgrade for my frame shift drive. Turns out it was a downgrade. And got stuck in the system. I couldn't warp. I couldn't frame shift out. Everything was too far away. I only had like 1 light-year of jump. And none of the stations sold a frame shift that would get me out of the system. So I was stuck. And I guess I could have went out and killed my ship and then respawned with it. Would have been the smarter thing to do. I reset my game. But I've already saved up and bought a new one and everything like that, so it wasn't that big a deal. It's not really that hard to make money in that game. You just gotta grind a few smuggling missions. It's been pretty fun, and I really think that this game has the potential to already beat out Star Citizen. If Star Citizen would ever, if Star Citizen ever delivers on its stuff that it's promised us, it could definitely beat that out. Because of the fact that Elite Dangerous is, 1-for-1 scale in the universe. There's 400 billion systems you can visit. Star Citizen is like 1/12, and there's only going to be a few hundred systems that you can visit it. 1/12 scale, sorry. And only a few hundred systems you can visit. The better physics, Elite Dangerous uses Newton physics and everything like that. I don't think Star Citizens are going to be quite as real life, I guess. Which neither's elite, but in comparison, the planet side, whenever Elite comes out with its planet side update, you're going to be able to fly down to the planet, and there's not going to be a cutscene. You just go down to the planet, and you can fly all around the planet. I don't know if you can land anywhere you want, but I know you can fly around the planet, and then you can land on the space stations. Elite Dangerous, it's all going to be a cutscene. You can only dock at a certain place and walk around. Obviously, where Star Citizen has Elite beat is that there's going to be the first-person shooter aspect of it. You can walk around your ship and everything like that. Sorry guys. Anyway, you can walk around your ship and everything like that, and then actually have have people board your ship and try and kill you on it in a it goes from a first-person space simulator to a first-person shooter in the, all in one aspect of the game. I gotta stop saying, I just caught myself. I gotta quit that. Anyway, so it goes from first-person simulation to first-person shooter without changing the game environment. Somebody docks, they board your ship, and they shoot. Elite doesn't have any of that. You can't walk around your ship or anything. They're going to let you walk around your ship. I don't know if there's going to be any real combat while you're walking. I think it's going to be just more, hey, here's your ship. So there's a lot of similarities, but there's also a lot of differences. But Elite Dangerous right now is becoming very cool, especially if they do all the things they're promising. Star Citizen, if they would do the things they're promising, would be really cool too. But they just kind of canned the first-person shooter part of it. Said it wasn't working. They don't know when they'll have it working. So maybe I can return my investment that I made into it. I don't know. I've already bought a freelancer whenever they first came out, and kind of sad I did, especially since I don't have the computer to run it. My computer can barely run the hangar, so it's kind of like I just threw my money, because I threw my money at the idea of it. It was a really cool idea, but anyway, I'm about out of time on this video, so I want to say thank you for watching episode 2 of Talking Space Pixels. I hope you enjoyed watching. Maybe next time I'll actually have Clyde, and I'll actually have more live footage. But thank you and goodbye.